Hey folks, I hope so you are doing fine. Welcome back to another stream with me. And I hope so you are excited for today's stream because today's stream is one of my favorite project. Actually, I can say that because I use that project in some of my small projects. So I'm really excited for that. Till then, if anyone is here, so we can join. Oh, Kunal is here. Yeah, thanks Kunal for joining. Thank you. Cool. Yeah. So those who are into basically on the backend side part simultaneously with the Rust development kind of thing, I hope so you maybe love some of the projects around that. So thanks for joining, folks, and we will starting soon in a moment. But yeah, thanks Toki for joining. I hope so you're doing fine. And yeah, so one of our speaker basically one of the right now he's a software engineer at Bloomberg, and right now he's a creator of a project called Starfyre. And obviously we will share up more about it. But here's the man, one and only Sanskar. Hi Sanskar, how are you?
Hey Karthike, I'm very well. How are you?
I'm doing awesome, bro. And how it's going there?
Uh, Pretty good. I just woke up, so a bit tired, but super excited for the stream today. And thank you for the amazing introduction.
Sure. Thank you. So the thing with me actually for the all stream that I did, this is one question I always ask to guests, like what is the definition of open source from your end? Like for me, it's more like because I recently get into the hip hop thing, so I think like it's open source like a culture to me. But like, what's your take on open source? Yeah.
Uh, for me, I'd say open source is anything that you can see the source code for one, but it's also the software that actually liberates you rather than restrict you. So you'd see a lot of software these days that have a lot of trackers, or you don't really know what's going on behind them. And then you feel a bit restricted about them and you start guessing how the software works, or you start reverse engineering the software to see and verify if it's not collecting your data without your permission. But whereas in open source, you can just go see the repo and use it however you like under the license permissions, and that's the kind of software that liberates you. So that's open source
Great.
for me.
Yeah, because there's a lot of because for everyone, because those who are doing a proper code contribution, for them there's a different concept behind open source. For those who are basically advocating or doing low code contribution or maybe advocating about the open source, everyone have a different open thing. But at the end of the day, all it unites us is community. At the end of the day, so yeah, I guess we can start off. But if possible, Sanskar, can you share your screen and talk about a little bit about your organization, GitHub organization, and we can kick in off on that thing. Yeah,
Absolutely. So I'll
yeah,
start sharing my screen. Let me know once visible.
sure.
Is my screen
Cool. I
visible?
guess it is. Yeah,
Amazing.
I guess. Yeah, great.
So my name is Sanskar, and I created a GitHub organization, or an open source organization called Sparkles. And basically, Sparkles is the mission for Sparkles is to create tooling for the Python ecosystem. So two of the projects that we are actively creating are Robyn and Starfyre. And Robyn is a high performance, community driven, and innovator friendly web framework. It's a Python web framework with a Rust runtime. And Starfyre is a Python web framework that allows you to write reactive front end applications. So if you want to have a look at that, you can go to github.com/sparkles and you will find the repo here. That was a quick introduction from my end.
Yeah, so if you see on the banner that is going around, I actually added the GitHub link of Sparkle, and you can check it out around it. And just for the project that we obviously discuss around in soon, so I will share one also banner for that, so you can go to it. And again, I will drop these links in the by the way, it is in the description box also, you can check it out. Or otherwise what you can do, I will comment out in the chat section for soon, and you can obviously try it out. But getting started with it maybe, and talking more about it, why Sanskar you like to basically work on this project, and what motivates you to basically to get started? Like, have you faced any issues while starting with this like while starting in the mind, like I have to build this because it solves maybe some problem around it? So, yeah, what's your take on it? Yeah.
To be honest, I usually create my software or all the projects that I do out of curiosity. So I'll tell you the story of why I created Robyn, and maybe then we can answer the second question on solving the issues. So it was the year of 2021, and I was in the final year of my university. Uh, and I had been using Flask and Node.js. I had been a Python developer during that in 2021 for 6 years, for the past 6 years. And I had been using Flask and Fast API a bit. But what I found an issue was that Flask didn't have proper async support. And during that time, Rust was also made famous on a Reddit post. And like the entire ecosystem were making memes about that, like rewriting everything in Rust. So out of curiosity, I thought to myself, Sanskar, you know what would be cool if you could try making an async version of Flask. And since Rust was becoming so popular, I thought to myself, you know what would be cooler? Having like this async version of Flask written in Rust.
Yeah.
This project was all created out of curiosity, and I started posting about it in communities and asking people how they feel about it. So gradually over time, I realized that this was something that people were interested in, and that is when I started devoting a lot of time to it. And over time, I started getting more and more ideas and started noticing problems. That's why I created Starfyre last year and launched it this year. So the idea started compounding, but most of my projects are driven out of curiosity.
That's awesome, because obviously, if you didn't know that, like I'm following you since you are, I guess, MLS fellow, and I'm seeing your the work, bro. So that's what motivates me. Like, because for me, I am lacking the ideas to build projects around it. So what I see in that terms around it. So that's basically motivates me to basically to understand your project. But going into that, like how you start off with the project, like how you build the maybe engineering part of it, can you explain around it, like how you get into it? Yeah.
Yes, absolutely. So the first thing that I do is try to create a minimum version of the project. Maybe it will have horrible code. Maybe it will have a few hard coding things. Maybe it won't be the most pleasing project, but the idea that I follow while creating software is to first make it work, then to make it better, and then to make it clean. And then I keep repeating it. So once I feel that you have this minimum project that you can interact with, or you can say that it kind of works, it gives you the momentum that you can use, and then like keep a loop going on, that you implement more features, get more momentum, implement more features again. That's basically how I like to work. So first make it work, then make it pretty, and then like do other things. And that's how I also
Nice.
tackle my pull request. So my first commit would be just to get the feature running. Probably the test will be failing and you'll have like unlinted code, commented code everywhere. Then the next steps is to remove all the excess code. And finally, after that, before you kind of want to merge it, you think about a better way of solving it. Maybe if you have a refactor, because I think most of the times something working is better than something that's perfect but doesn't exist.
Got it. Nice proposition around it. And yeah, so my most probably the many many people wants to start their own open source project around it. So like even though there's many people think like maybe we didn't have that much experience around engineering, maybe they have a consideration around like if we want to build an open source project or in general project also, or to maintain in a more heavy system kind of thing. they need a kind of experience around 5 to 10 years kind of thing, like industrial experience, if I will say. So I guess what's your take around it? Even though I know you're involved with software engineering for a very lot of, you can say from your freshman year, you're already involved in the communities and the tech part. But apart from that, what's your consideration or what's your thought process behind it? Like when anyone say you need to do a 5 to 10 year of experience to get started with the kind of to start with a project, or you can say proper project, if I will say. Yeah.
I would say that's absolutely not necessary at all, because we can have a look at my GitHub repos. I started learning more engineering work when I started creating projects. So if we have a look at 2017 or 2018, I was still making a lot of projects. I was going to hackathons. I was trying to solve problems. So let's see. You see that I got involved in a community when I registered for GitHub, right?
Yeah.
I was contributing to open source projects. I found this random project on the internet that I thought would be interesting to work. I created this small YouTube player that I thought would be a very cool thing. So I wouldn't say you only get experience by working. So it's a bit of catch-22. And like many people won't allow you to work on their code base if you're getting paid for it if you don't have experience. However, the best part about open source is that you are not restricted by other people. You have the control over yourself. Doesn't matter if people would like to contribute to it or not. It will help you become a better developer.
Got it. Maybe if you can talk about more about Starfyre around it, or Robyn in general, like around that. Yeah.
Sure. Let's talk about Starfyre.
Yeah.
Starfyre is a pretty new project at this point. It only has like 100 commits. So let's talk about Starfyre. Speaking of starting a project, I would like to show you if we can find the first release. You'd see that initially the Starfyre project had like very minimal code. It was just 2 files, right?
Yeah.
And it allowed you to do a few things, but it wasn't like very robust or working end to end properly. But after that, we had to like change the architecture. Like I said, first it was working, then we made it pretty, then we realized certain like issues. So you see that one version was created like this, then the entire architecture was changed, and after that, we plan to change a bit of architecture again. So don't worry about if it's not the prettiest code or you do not have the best experience. As long as it's working, it's good enough for you to like showcase it to the world. Now,
Also,
stuff like
like maybe there is one question from my side, like when like I saw one comment like redo the architecture kind of thing.
yes,
So on what basis that you go on the engineering part, like we have to change the architecture, or like have you take a reference from some others project that these follow these kind of architectures? So maybe it's for better for me, or like, or you take a kind of analysis from the community, like is it going good or bad, or like how you test your architecture on like this architecture will be good for me, like for my project actually.
okay. So what I did for Starfyre is that first I created an initial version, right? And
Yeah.
then I realized that the load times were a lot, and
Yeah.
we were serving a lot of JavaScript, and we were serving 200 or 20 megabytes of JavaScript, which was very, very bad, right?
Yeah.
Then I read about how we can make things better. First, there were a few minor optimizations that we did, but ultimately it came to a point where we had to make a call, because 20 MBs could be maximum reduced down to 18 MBs, whereas uh, if a library serves 300 kilobytes, it's considered bad.
Obviously. Yeah.
So it was a lot. So after
Yeah.
that, we found ways to change the architecture. Did you have to do your engineering research, explore other options? But once you're done with that, you make the change and see how things work. And what I did was I had a PR open for the architectural change. If I can find it. Uh, yeah, Okay, I don't think I can find the PR, but basically just comparing how things work between the two versions. If your change is making an improvement, once it's an improvement, you merge it, and that's basically it. You have a new architecture of your applications.
Got it.
But
And
you have to do your research before you need to decide. If before you decide, major refactor is required.
got it. Nice, nice, nice. So like you can move forward with the thing like about the Starfyre. Yeah.
Okay. So basically, Starfyre is a server-side Python web framework that allows you to make front-end applications using pure Python. So what in Python currently, I believe there's no proper way to create front-end applications. There are certain solutions, but they are a bit restrictive. So you would either have to follow this Python Qt kind of syntax, where you be creating decorators or writing code through functions, or they do not allow you to use CSS or existing JavaScript libraries. With Starfyre, the idea is that you can create a library or a front-end applications using pure Python. So Starfyre has a CLI app that allows you to scaffold an application quickly, which will have the following. So you can basically have a JSX kind of syntax in your Python file and have like server-ended functions and client-ended functions written in Python and have CSS in the file, and that will run in the browser. So you can have Python code which will eventually work in your browser.
Got it. One more question around hit me. Then when we compare Dino, I guess you heard about Dino.
Do you
I
know?
guess.
Yes.
So yeah, so Dino have a kind of same thing because I guess it's a Python based thing, but they are involving JS. So there's a new feature by I guess Dino is like in the Jupyter lab. You can basically put on your JSX or JS based I guess syntax kind of thing. So what is the difference between that what Dino is doing and what is you are doing basically? Yeah.
Dino is actually a runtime for the JavaScript world. So Dino is a competitor or replacement to Node.js or Bun, where and Dino doesn't allow you to write Python. Dino only allows you to work with JavaScript, and it's
Got
a
it.
backend runtime system. It's not a backend, but a runtime system, so allows you to work with your JavaScript dependencies. Whereas here you can use Python directly. You don't need to
Got it.
write JavaScript. You can if you want to. You can see that this is an
Yeah.
optional section for JavaScript, but you're not forced to write it.
Got it. Cool, 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 cool. Okay, cool. Let me know. Okay. Also, folks, those who are watching us, if you have any doubts regarding anything, you can obviously comment down, and we will take up as a question. Cool. Now more about it. How anyone can start with your project, maybe like if anyone wants to like I'm not talking about contribution here. I'm just using as a like as a project. If any suppose I wanted to use your project in my maybe is my project like in my any small project or you can side project you can say. So I can
Right.
start off maybe yeah.
So Starfyre has this CLI, and you would use the create flag to start a new project. So we can give a quick demo here. So the small demo will take usually mostly 2 minutes. So let's say demo YouTube. So what you need to do is first, like any other project, create a virtual environment, then source in the virtual environment and install Starfyre. Wait, sorry. That's 3.9 minus. My bad. Sorry, my Python version is a bit messed up on my system. Yes.
I can understand that. Same thing happened.
So what you need to do is use the command create and pass in a directory name. And then that's basically it. You'd have an SRC folder which will contain all the files that you need to use. So it will have a demo page that tells you how you can structure your project. Then you will have a CSS folder, and you need to use the build script or the command Python 3 minus 3.11 minus m Starfyre build to build the application and to use the inbuilt dev server to serve your application on a local host. So I hope that made that like 5-minute demo made sort of sense. But for a deeper demo, you can have a look at the GitHub repo. We have like documentation here and on how you can start your project. And the website for the main documentation is called starfyre.design. So you can also go there to see more detailed documentation.
Got it. Awesome. Now maybe the thing like, is there anyone, because obviously this is the new project, so bugs always be there. So
Yes.
how anyone maybe if want to like, this is a simple thing, like if I want any feature, I would raise an issue around it and kind of that. But apart from that, if there is any project management kind of thing, like these are some of the issues that has to be done, or maybe kind of that. So like my major question behind is like how anyone can start contributing to your project. Even though, yeah, by the way, I also dropped the Discord server of Robyn. You can join that, and you can find like it is in the description box. You can check it out. Those who are watching us. But yeah, apart from that, like being a part of community, so how anyone can be a part. Maybe directly not saying for the beginners here, maybe starting for those who are already well versed with the open source thing, but want to be a part of your team and want to work on the features kind of that, or maybe anything that in your head around it. So like how anyone can start contributing to it. Maybe suppose all the issues are assigned to someone, but they still want to contribute to your project. So how they can start with, yeah.
The first step would be joining the Discord. So Starfyre has a separate Discord from Robyn because it's a different project. So you can find the Discord link here on the repo itself. And after you've done that, what I would recommend you to is to go through the issue list to see what you'd like to work on. But you'd see that some of the issues don't. If you feel that the issues don't have enough description, just post it in the general channel, and I am online all the time. I'll be happy to guide you. Or if someone else is online, they'll be happy to help you. So basically, the contribution is fairly simple. Join the Discord. If you'd like to work on something, comment on the issue. If you need more clarification, ask me. Or if you'd like to have a new feature, make an issue. We can discuss a bit on the issue. And then finally, we can work on the PR. So if you have any issues while implementing it, again, post it in the channel or ask me, ask someone else, and we'll be very happy to guide you on your contribution.
Yeah. And also, folks, I also dropped the Twitter handle of Sanskar, so please do follow him. He's a great guy. Follow him. Why I'm saying follow him, because the work he is doing is totally awesome. So do follow him. And if you have any query, maybe if you're thinking like maybe on Discord, maybe you're not notable, or you think like it's very maybe. I still say do it everything publicly. That's the first priority thing. But if you think like maybe you want to talk with Sanskar, maybe so you can say on Twitter maybe, but still I'm saying go on the public thing, go on the Discord server or any mailing list that is basically under any project, and you can talk and you can directly basically share your views around it.
Absolutely.
Cool. Yeah. And till then, let me check around it. Okay. So again, this is the Discord server. Sorry, this is the GitHub link. You can follow this one. And I already dropped the link in the comment section if you wanted to join, and you try to follow the organization if you want, and if you still wanted to contribute around it. And Yeah, apart from it, let me check once. Yeah, cool. So now my maybe next question around Robyn, maybe like, can you elaborate about the Robyn part? Yeah.
Yes, sure. So Robyn is basically an HTTP server which is written in Rust. So think of it as Flask, but 100 times faster than that. And amongst that, we have many other features. So we have certain things like a built-in server that allow you to not have to worry about choosing an external server for you. So for example, things like choosing Unicorn, Ubicon, and other servers, or you don't have the issue of worrying about them. We built in a production ready server coupled with Robyn that allows you to serve it at a faster speed. And we have features bi- like const request and other communities features that allow you to not worry, basically get your app up and running very quickly, so to shorten the end-to-end application timeline.
Cool, awesome. I guess there's one question from our side, maybe. Um, how to basically push this thing on maybe Pipey, or like how you basically did that. Basically, someone is asking like how you basically, like, it is very hard for creating a package, and it's like a kind of big thing for everyone to basically push it on the Pipey kind of thing, or NPM if we'll say in that consideration. Yeah.
Uh, so for a Rust and Python project, to push it on PyPI, you use something called Maturin. So it is this ecosystem. There are other ways, but I used Maturin to use the to publish my Python library to PyPI, and then currently it's using a CI that we wrote. So if you want to look at the CI on how we publish it, you can have a look here. It's under here, and it is called release CI. So it basically builds a release version on every tag, and then finally publishes it on PyPI. So this is a code for reference. If you'd like to use it, you can use this code in your hybrid Python and Rust project. But the core part is to be aware about this tool called Maturin. So this is a
Nice.
tool that allows you to publish hybrid Python libraries on PyPI.
Cool. And I guess also people who like, if you are not able to find any issue, maybe unit testing is the best thing to contribute to. If you think you can want to create some unit test for the project, why I'm saying, because I find the one directory, that's why I'm saying around that. But yeah, I know the in the like, especially engineers really hate writing unit test kind of thing, or in general test suits basically. But do contribute to that. It only helps you to understand the project actually. And yeah, there is nothing from my side as of now, and there's not from the, I guess, from the community kind of thing. But thank you, Sanskar, for taking your time and sharing about your project. And really love to talk to you, brother. And soon I will contribute to your project for sure. Yeah.
Thank you, Karthikeya. Thank you for having me. It was a pleasure coming here.
And maybe anything you want to share to anyone, like, from the, for in general, to the anyone who are starting with the project, or in general about the open source, you can say tips around it. Yeah.
Yes, absolutely. My core advice would be to have fun. Don't worry about it too much. Don't worry about if people will like it or not. As long as you're the person who wants to use the project, or you're the person who's solving a problem for yourself, then there's always one person who'll be happy, and that's good enough for me. So have fun along the way, and try to make open source. Try to
Yeah.
make more open source projects as possible.
Yeah, that's the main motive behind it, and you will always learn from open source. That I can guarantee towards it. You can learn a lot of things, because as a computer science engineer, you have a privilege to be in computer science engineer. Because if you are a mechanical engineer, electrical engineer, you can't able to, maybe you have to go maybe in person, but here you can do work remotely. and just you need a laptop and an internet, so you can do that for sure. So I can say around it. And yeah, I guess there is nothing much from my side, but thank you, Sanskar, for sharing about your project. And I hope so people love it. I will share also all the information with every Discord link of the community of by like on our Discord also.
Thank you
And
so
I hope so people will join and start using your project maybe. And yeah, there's one more question. How to get into Bloomberg?
much. Just I'd say brush up your data structures and algorithms, work hard, have a good resume, have good experience, and then crack the interview.
Yeah, and I maybe add to that, maybe do participate in hackathons. It all always help you around it to make it, because yeah, it generally helps a lot of thing. Like, but yeah, still prefer go with the DSA. It's a foundational part of our core engineering. So please do practice. I will say around it. Cool.
Definitely.
I think so. There's not no more question from us, from our. Again, just let me, I'm just checking around it in case there
Mhm.
is any question. Yeah, maybe there's some more slight marketing from my side, maybe. So this our org is also open. So basically, you can go to it and you can contribute to project if you want. We are right now working on a repository right now. Sorry, three repository. Sorry, actually. So one repository is just for the Hacktoberfest, where you can basically do contribution or create a small projects. You can do Android mobile contributions, web contributions, machine learning contributions in general. And we have a two project that is going up. One is the called Open Connect, which is kind of a clone of meetup.com, but we want to try to it more on open source way. So we built on the next years basically. So if anyone wants to work on it, we will have like issues are open around it and you can contribute to it. And third project, basically the project called Curator. We want to try to curate the content. That's the curate social media thing, you can say it kind of a Twitter, but on a more a better updated feed, you can say the recommendation part that we are trying to do. So these are the small projects that we are trying to do. If you think you want to start with your open source thing, again, these are some of the basic projects also you can start up. Otherwise, Robyn and Starfyre is always here for that if you want to learn around it. But I hope so. I hope so, folks. You got something. You learned something throughout the whole stream. And again, if you have any query, you can drop in the comments. Otherwise, I update the description box soon after the stream, so that you can join the Starfyre Discord server also. And if you have any query regarding, you can basically ping there. And yeah, thanks Sanskar again. And final to that, maybe we will meet soon, maybe in person someday. I am not able to meet, like, I guess I meet one of your friend, who is my mentor actually, Shiva Lamba.
Oh yes,
So but yeah, so like I and Shiva always talk with you around that about the project actually, Starfyre actually. So maybe we will soon meet. If I get a chance to meet in London, there's another thing, but let's see.
absolutely. Hopefully soon. Hopefully we'll meet very soon in person.
Sure, and see you folks. And tomorrow we have another stream with the CTO of Fermiotion, which is a WebAssembly project actually. And I hope so you learn something new during that stream, I guess. Okay, I will don't talk too much around it, but yeah. Thanks, Sanskar. And right now I've been putting you on the backstage, and so that maybe in case anyone have any doubts, we have all the links in the description. And after the stream, maybe after 15 minutes, you can check out the description box. You can find it around. And thanks folks for joining, and maybe I will see you soon. And talking about more thing, we are just ending the stream around it. So hopefully see you soon tomorrow. And let me know if you have any query regarding anything. We will love to listen that. Cool. So see ya folks. Bye bye, take care, and yeah.